Welcome to my channel, the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Asterisk night had fallen over the metallic forests of Theraxis, where every tree shined like steel and every gust of wind hummed like an ancient machine. In this strange alien world, a young girl ran alone, her small boots sinking into the glowing moss with every trembling step. Her cloak was torn, her breath uneven, and her eyes wide with fear as metal hounds howled behind her. She didn't look like a fighter, nor a soldier, nor anyone important, just a frightened girl running from something she didn't dare to name. She kept glancing back, whispering to herself to keep moving, telling her legs to stay strong, even as exhaustion tried to pull her down. But she was running out of time, and she knew it. The ground shuddered as armored boots slammed through the forest, chasing her with deadly purpose. Far away, a human researcher named Jace Farrow walked through the same forest, scanning strange plants and entering notes into his wrist pad. He was supposed to be on a calm observation mission, but peace shattered the moment he heard panicked footsteps racing toward him. Before he could react, the girl burst through the shining leaves and stumbled into the clearing where he stood. Her fear-filled eyes met his, and Jace instantly sensed danger far worse than any creature he'd studied. She didn't explain anything, only whispered, "Please, don't ask questions. Just run." But she didn't get the chance to say more. A poisoned spear, its tip glowing with deadly violet fire, cut through the air with lightning speed, aiming directly at her heart. Jace didn't think, didn't decide, didn't hesitate. He simply moved. With one swift motion, he threw himself in front of the girl, tackling her to the ground and covering her with his body as the spear slammed into his chest. Pain exploded inside him like frozen fire, racing through his veins. The poison was designed to kill warriors in seconds, and Jace wasn't a warrior at all. His vision flickered, the forest spinning around him in a blur. The girl stared up at him, shocked, confused, and trembling. "Why? Why would you do that? You don't even know me," she whispered as she caught him, before he collapsed completely. Jace forced a weak smile and said, "You looked like you needed help. That's enough." His legs gave out, and he collapsed again, barely breathing. But there was no time for grief or shock. The soldiers were closing in fast. The girl grabbed him with surprising strength and pulled him through the forest, using hidden paths, whispering codes into ancient stone doors, calling energy from her hands to block the pursuers. As she dragged him across the metallic floor of an underground passage, her hands glowed with soft blue light. When she pressed them against Jace's wound, the poison slowed, but didn't stop. She bit her lip, frustrated and scared, knowing she wasn't strong enough to heal him fully. Jace saw the glowing symbols on her palms, saw the way doors opened for her, the way ancient crystals responded to her presence. She wasn't a normal girl. Something inside him wanted to ask questions, but the poison made every breath feel heavy. She kept apologizing softly, telling him he shouldn't have saved her, that he didn't understand who she truly was. But he only muttered, "Doesn't matter," before his eyes closed again. She managed to pull him into a massive underground sanctuary lit by floating crystals and ancient carvings. The walls showed images of royal bloodlines, ancient battles, and a symbol shaped like a star pierced by a spear. Jace lay weak and fading on a stone platform as the girl trembled beside him. With trembling hands, she finally told him the truth, her voice cracking as her secret broke open. Her name was Princess Lyra Theraxis, the last surviving heir to the throne of the planet. For years she had lived hidden, protected by loyal guards who were now dead. The soldiers chasing her were traitors who wanted to end the royal bloodline. Forever. She had escaped alone, but the world still hunted her. When Jace heard this, he tried to laugh, but winced in pain. A princess, "You should have better guards," he murmured. Lyra's eyes softened as tears formed. "You were better guard than all of them," she whispered. But her sadness quickly turned to panic. Jace's breathing slowed. The poison was spreading faster. Desperation drove her to search the ancient chamber until she found a royal healing device, a crystal chamber once used to restore the bloodline's strength. But it wasn't designed for humans. Using it on Jace might kill him instantly. Or it might save him. Or it might turn him into something neither of them could predict. Lyra explained everything, shaking with fear, but Jace only said, "If it saves you too, do it." He spoke through pain, but with absolute certainty. She placed him inside the chamber and activated it. Light exploded around him, burning through his veins, purging poison and rewriting something deep inside his cells. Jace screamed, his voice echoing through the chamber. Lyra pressed her hand to the crystal, whispering for him to hold on. The machine roared, shook, then suddenly fell silent. When the chamber opened, Jace collapsed into Lyra's arms alive. Not only alive, but different. His eyes shimmered with a faint blue glow, the same royal energy that Lyra carried in her blood. Lyra's breath caught in her throat. No human in history had ever carried royal energy. The chamber had changed and merged something ancient and powerful inside him. There was no time to process the miracle. The traitor soldiers broke into the sanctuary, their weapons raised, ready to kill them. Jace stepped in front of Lyra again, this time with strength radiating through him like lightning. He caught a poisoned spear mid-air, the tip burning his hand but not harming him. Something inside him had awakened, something that responded to Lyra's presence like a spark meeting flame. Together, side by side, they unleashed a wave of energy that blasted the soldiers back and collapsed the entrance. Dust filled the air as silence returned, but Lyra could only stare at him, overwhelmed with shock and gratitude. They climbed out of the sanctuary into the heart of the metallic forest, guided by the glow of royal energy pulsing from both of them. Lyra led Jace to an ancient tower built by her ancestors. She placed her glowing hand on the royal crest, and it lit up instantly, sending a beacon across the entire planet, a signal to her people that their princess lived. Jace stood beside her quietly, no longer just a stranger who stumbled into danger, but someone connected to her destiny, someone who bled for her without knowing her name, someone who now carried a power no human ever had. Lyra turned to him with soft eyes and whispered, "You didn't save a princess. You saved a person who was alone." Jace smiled faintly and replied, "You're not alone anymore." As the beacon spread across the planet, calling armies, allies and enemies, Lyra realized her future had changed forever. And Jace understood that his life had merged with a destiny far bigger than he ever imagined. Two souls, one royal, one human now, stood together against a universe ready to challenge them. But this time, neither of them would face it alone. If you enjoyed this emotional HFY sci-fi story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful tales every week.